All right, the Jets are hoping to turn things around tomorrow against the Ravens, and they made a quarterback move to spark this lackluster offense. So let's get into the game. And joining me now is Jets beat writer with the Star-Ledger and NJ.com, Connor Hughes. Great to see you once again.
Thank you for having me back once again.
Well, it's not been the season I don't think any Jets fan has expected. Clearly, they had to make a switch in some way, shape, or form, and it's going to be Geno Smith. Now, we know that Geno brings a different set of attributes to the table, but with those attributes, does that mean that it opens up the playbook menu a little bit as well?
Yeah, it does. That's exactly it. Ryan Fitzpatrick was never a guy that was starting games in the NFL because of his physical attributes. He's got an okay arm. He's okay in accuracy. He's got a little mobility, but he's not great at any one thing. In fact, when it comes to his arm strength, he's probably a bit below average. So by putting Geno Smith in the game, if Geno Smith is not like that, nobody has ever questioned Geno Smith's ability to throw the football. In fact, when you look at his physical skills in terms of arm strength, accuracy when he is on, he's among the best in the NFL. I mean, he's up there. I mean, he's got that cannon for an arm. It's been his turnovers that have kept him off the field and gotten him in trouble. But by putting him in this game instead of Ryan Fitzpatrick, having him under center or in the shotgun, it opens up the playbook because you're now able to stretch the field to go out the defense. So you've got guys on this team like Sharon Peak, the rookie wide receiver, Robbie Anderson, the rookie wide receiver, guys that were known in college as people that can stretch the field. Now, by having Geno Smith under center, they can stretch the field because unlike Fitzpatrick, Geno can get him the ball.
Yeah, and that can open up everything. That can open up the rushing attack. But the problem is this. He's never really been a popular guy with the fans. He's not been popular in the locker room, and we've not seen a great deal of success out of Geno Smith. Okay, so the bar is really set kind of low for him, or is it the other way? Does he have to actually do twice as much to earn people's respect this week?
I think Geno Smith right now isn't necessarily playing for the Jets. He's playing for what he knows, and he said it before. He's playing for his future. I mean, this is the last year of his rookie contract. He is not going to be back with this team in 2017, so this is kind of his opportunity to show other teams in the NFL that he can be a starting quarterback. So when he hits the open market and he hits free agency, he can go out there and sign with somebody else. So the team right now is in such a funk, such a lull. They're playing so bad that Geno Smith coming in there, he doesn't necessarily have to win them over because, truthfully, I mean, Ryan Fitzpatrick right now ranks 32nd in the NFL. I think in completion percentage, interceptions in terms of worst, and quarterback rating. So he's throwing the most interceptions. So Geno Smith doesn't have to come in here and be everybody's best friend. If Todd Bowles wanted that, he would have kept Ryan Fitzpatrick in there. Ryan Fitzpatrick was everybody's best friend, but being everybody's BFF wasn't getting them wins. So out he is, and in goes Geno.
And everybody loves the backup quarterback, but the fact of the matter is, Ryan Fitzpatrick went 1-5 through the toughest part of the schedule, a hideous schedule, and now it kind of lightens up a little bit. So it really is almost best case scenario here for Geno, isn't it?
It does. I mean, he's not facing the Arizona Cardinals and the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cincinnati Bengals. He's getting in these first games. He's got the Ravens, and then he has the Browns, and then he has the Dolphins. I mean, these teams, and then the Rams after that. They've got a pretty good defense, but they're a little nicked up right now. So Geno does have the easier portion of the Jets schedule because when you asked me, we talked all off season about this Jets team. It was if they can survive these first 6 games, if they can get out of here with 2, maybe 3 wins at 500, maybe just below 500, they're going to be in pretty good shape going down the road. Now they're not in pretty good shape because they're sitting at 1-5, which some of us said that's a good chance they could be there. But Geno Smith is the beneficiary of it because he's not facing these top teams. He's facing these teams that didn't make the playoffs and these teams that are pretty bad.
The run game has been such a major problem here for the Jets. It's something we didn't expect after what we saw in the first 2 weeks of the season, but over the last 2 games, the Jets are averaging handing the ball off just 14 times per game. An offense can't succeed when it's one-dimensional, especially when they're going up against the Ravens defense. It's number 1 in rush defense.
And this is one of the reasons why the Jets made the switch from Ryan Fitzpatrick to Geno Smith, because defenses just were not respecting Fitzpatrick's arm. They said, look, man, you're out Decker. You can't throw it past 20 yards. We're going to stack the box with 8, 9 guys, man up on the outside, maybe shade a safety over to Brandon Marshall, so maybe you're doubling Brandon Marshall. But we're not worried about Robbie Anderson beating us one-on-one. And, if he gets deep, who cares because Fitz can't get it there. We're not worried about Quincy Enunwa going one-on-one. If he's going to catch 5 or 6 balls for 60 yards, that's fine. We're worried about Marshall. We'll double Marshall, but the other 9 guys, we're just going to stack them in the box and stuff the run, and that's going to put the Jets in 3rd and long situations, which is going to then allow them to blitz and tee off on Fitzpatrick. So The running game has not been good. The run blocking has not been good. But it's because you've got 5 offensive linemen and maybe a tight end in there because the Jets don't have a fullback. So you've got 5 offensive linemen and a tight end trying to block 9 guys, trying to block 8 guys, which is difficult for an offensive line like the Dallas Cowboys, the best in the NFL,
right,
let alone one with the Jets, which maybe isn't the best in the league. But at the end of the day, and as an offense, it feeds off of each other. So the teams don't respect Ryan Fitzpatrick's arm. So because they don't respect Ryan Fitzpatrick's arms, they're just stacking the box, which is subsequently shutting down the run.
The Ravens have Joe Flacco with a shoulder injury. They've lost 3 straight. They are the most penalized team in the NFL. I'm wondering, are the Ravens the best team for the Jets, or are the Jets the prescription for the Ravens?
There is no best team for the Jets right now. I mean, that's the fact. I mean, look, this team has issues everywhere. They don't have no passing game. I mean, they have no running game. Now their quarterback's getting beat up. The offense is completely anemic. The defensive line, which was considered a strength of this team, has 5 sacks since week 2. Their secondary has let up more big plays than any other in the NFL. I mean, they are a complete mess. And you add into that the fact the coaching staff has been a complete disappointment this year, too, with whether it's second half adjustments, whether it's a lifeless, emotionless team. I mean, they just are not a good football. The Jets are not very good at playing football right now, which when you're a football team, that's not very good. So you're in a situation where no team is the perfect team for the Jets because the Jets have not shown they can beat anybody. I mean, they beat a Buffalo Bills team, that's it, on Thursday Night Football on a short week, and there are other games that really hasn't even been competitive.
And they were lucky to get that win, by the way, too. You can read his insights on the Star Ledger and NJ.com. Connor Hughes, thanks so much, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, so stick around. When we come back, I know you've been waiting for our daily fantasy sleepers. You'll get them after the break.